Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor of Untitled Crochet, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this super cute hat pattern. This is what it looks like with a pom, and then I will show you real quick what it looks like without a pom, but I'm really excited about this. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe if you want to see more like this. Here's it without a pom if you wanted to know what it looked like. I'll put some pictures of me wearing this one right here up for you guys. But really good hat. This one's made with, I love this yarn. This is, I will put what yarn this one is on the screen. I can't remember off the top of my head. But just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. And we're gonna get started. We are starting and we're going to use a 5.5mm hook. This is my frills hook. I think it's an Odyssey hook. I really like this one. I'm normally like a clover person, strictly use like clover hooks. But I bought this one when I started doing Ashley's Claire Bun beanies, Ashley from A Crafty Concept, because it's a 5.5mm hook. These are a little bit more expensive, but I will say I've been making stuff for the past 3 days straight, like Friday evening, all day Saturday, and then all this morning, and my hand doesn't hurt at all from using this, so it's a really great hook. And then we're gonna use, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, and I know a lot of people don't have Hobby Lobbies in their area, they don't shop at Hobby Lobby, whatever it may be, but this is just a worsted weight. It's like a heavier worsted weight, I would say. Burnett Super Saver is a good alternative. If you're looking for a different Hobby Lobby alternative, Hobby Lobby Soft and Sleek I've heard is good. If you do Love Crafts, their paint box yarn is a good alternative. Any, you know, thicker worsted weight would be a good alternative to this yarn. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to make a slip stitch. And for the brim, we're gonna start with the brim. So we're starting with the bottom portion of the hat right here, making this band. And we are going to chain 21. So you're gonna chain 21, and then we are going to half double crochet into the third chain from hooks. We're gonna skip 1, skip 2, and into the third. And then we're going to half double crochet in each chain across. So for those of you who might not know, a half double crochet is yarning over your hook, inserting, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on hook, and that is a double crochet. And we're gonna do that all the way across over here. Okay, so when you get to the end, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to turn. You're gonna have 19 half double crochets that you worked in here, and we do not count the first chain 2 at the beginning of this as a half double crochet. And then we're just gonna half double crochet in each stitch all the way back across. So we're going through both loops and just going straight back down the row. So you're gonna have 19 when you go back as well. And basically we're just gonna do half double crochet in each stitch across, chain 2 and turn, half double crochet across, chain 2 and turn. It's the same pattern repeat for 42 rows we're gonna do this for. So for 42 rows, we are going to repeat this same pattern. We're gonna keep going like that. We're gonna do a little TV magic here. I already have one that I started working up. When your brim is complete, this is where you will be on your 42nd row. You just have this panel. The next step that we're gonna do is we're going to fold over our work, and we're going to seam these ends together using slip stitches. So I'm just gonna chain 1. Actually, I'm gonna flip mine this way. I'm gonna chain 1, and I'm going to work through both of these loops, and then I'm gonna go through the first stitch, the first chain on this other side right here, I'm gonna pull a loop through and slip stitch it. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can just weave it up like with an end and a yarn needle, a darning needle, and just weave this end. I just like to keep my yarn as continuous as possible when working, so I don't have to cut and weave in any ends. So I'm just gonna go into the next stitch, through that back loop. So I'm through both layers of fabric there, pulling up a stitch, going through, and I'm just gonna repeat the same thing through every stitch of the side of this beanie. It's really important that you keep your slip stitches really loose here, otherwise your brim will pull up in the middle. Like right here, you can see how it pulls in, so you just have to make sure that you keep these stitches very, very loose as you can. You could also work single crochets around through this if you wanted to. I just like the way that slip stitches lay flat. So this is now our seam that we have right here in the middle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and fold our seam so our seam is on the inside. And you're just gonna match up the top edges here all the way around. And now we have the brim for our beanie. As you can see, it's double thick. This brim was inspired by Ashley of Crafty Concepts double brim Claire bun beanie. Her pattern uses single crochets, so it's a lot denser and a lot thicker. So if you like that style, if you want an even warmer brim than this one, I would definitely check out her pattern. I will link that below for you guys. I'll pop up a picture of one right here, but that is like a really, really good thick dense pattern, so that can be used for any of her bun beanie patterns that she has, or closed top beanies. And then also you could substitute that brim if you like that for this pattern as well. But now we're gonna do the next step, and the next step is to single crochet evenly around the top of this brim. We're gonna single crochet through both layers and kind of seam this together, and we're gonna make 60 single crochets all the way around. And I just thought of this little trick recently when I was doing this pattern, and I'm going to show you guys kind of what I do to help me make sure that my single crochets are as even as possible across. Okay, so I just have some scrap pieces of yarn that I cut, and right here's where our working yarn is. So I know that this is one end. I lay my beanie, my brim flat, and then right over here where this fold is, I'm just gonna stick my scrap yarn here. So I know if I have to get 60 around the top of this entire brim, I have to have 30 between here and here. And if you can do that, if you just know you have to have 30 and you can evenly do that, that's great. But I like to add just a few more pieces where I go this way and I match up my yarn here and my yarn here. And then I add 2 more scrap pieces of yarn in these 2 spots. So I know that 60 divided by 4 is 15. So I need to have 15 single crochets between starting here and getting to this scrap yarn, 15 between this scrap yarn and this scrap yarn, 15 between here and here, and then 15 between here and here. And that helps me get the most even disbursement of single crochets all the way around. You don't have to do that if you can eyeball it, but I just found it something that really helped me, so I wanted to show you guys that tip too. Okay. So now we're still working on our yarn. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to throw this tail right in the middle in there, so I don't have to weave it in later. Oops. So I'm just going to shove that down there. And then I'm going to go through this second layer of yarn right here. Actually, I'm gonna go back through my first layer of yarn, then go through the second layer, and I am going to single crochet. That is my first single crochet through both layers of yarn. And now I need to get 15 single crochets from here to here. So I'm just gonna do it as evenly as possible. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then my 15th one is going to be right here where that string was. And then as you can see, I have 15 single crochets, so now I'm going to make another 15 between here and here. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. I don't go through any particular row. If you did a single crochet border, normally you'd do like 1 single crochet along the top for each single crochet row. For half double crochets for this one, basically for every 2 half double crochet rows you have, you want 3 single crochets across the top, so like 1.5 per row. But I just like doing it this way. It's just a lot easier than trying to math it all out. So I need 15 more. 1, 'So now I have 30 and I'm halfway through my top, and I'm gonna do another 15 to here and another 15 here for 60 total. So I'll meet you guys over here when you get to that point. Okay, so I've made 60 single crochets all the way around, and now we're going to slip stitch into our first single crochet of the row. We're gonna chain 1 and we're going to turn. And then now we're gonna be doing the lemon peel stitch, which is a pattern repeat of a double crochet, single crochet, and then it's all the way across. So you do double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, all the way around. So we're going to do a double crochet in this first stitch right here. So that was a yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2 again. Now we're going to do a single crochet, which is hook through, pull up, yarn over, double crochet again, so yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, single crochet, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to keep doing that same double crochet, single crochet all the way around. And then I will meet you when we get to the other side. So when you get to the end, when you get back to where you started the row, you should be ending with a single crochet because we have an even number and we started with a double crochet. So we should end with a single crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of our double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. And then we're going to repeat the same thing where we start with a double crochet into the first stitch, which the first stitch from the previous row, since we turned, is now going to be a single crochet. So you're double crocheting in all of the single crochets from the previous row, and then you're single crocheting in all of the double crochets of the previous row. So we're going to start with a double crochet. Then we're going to go single crochet into the next one, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and we are going to repeat the same thing where we get to the end, we slip stitch it, then we chain one and turn for quite a few rows. I believe my row count was 9, and then the thing with this stitch pattern is it's really hard to count rows because of the way that there's no like defined rows in here. So what I did is I got measurements for you guys. So you want to go up and until your beanie is about 6.5 inches from the bottom of your beanie to the top of your rows. So you want to stop at about 6.5 inches. So you want your beanie to go about here with the lemon peel stitch. So I hope that that helps. Those measurements help you if you can't count rows. Otherwise, it'll be for 9 rows of this stitch pattern. But the measurements might help too. And then also if your tension is different than mine, you can just go by the measurements instead of row count. But we are just going to keep repeating this. And then I will see you guys when I get to my 6.5 inches or 9 rows. Okay, so now that I've done quite a few rows and I get my tape measure out, I'm right at about 6.5 inches from the bottom of the brim to the top here. And now we're gonna begin our decreases on our hat. So in order to do decreases, we're going to combine our double crochet stitch and the single crochet stitch into one stitch, and that'll be one decrease. So for the first round of decreases, we're actually gonna decrease in every stitch around. So we're gonna chain one, turn our work, and how we're gonna do these decreases is we're gonna yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop just like we're doing a double crochet. We're gonna yarn over, pull through the first 2, and instead of yarning over and pulling through the next 2, we're actually gonna insert our hook into the next stitch. We're gonna pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook. We're gonna yarn over and pull through all 3. So I stop. So I'm gonna do it one more time. So we're gonna yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, then we're gonna go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we're gonna do that all the way around. So when we get to the end, we're actually only gonna have 30 stitches instead of the 60 stitches that we've been doing all the way around. So let's go do that, and then I will meet you guys once we get all the way around this round. Okay, so now I've created my last decrease stitch of the row. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first decrease of the row. I'm going to chain one and turn. And then for this row, we're gonna be doing the same thing we did for all these other rows. We're just gonna do double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet all the way around, and slip stitch to the first stitch just like we did every other row. And then we want to make sure that we're ending with a single crochet on the row. And then you're going to slip stitch. And again, we're going to chain one and turn. And then now we're gonna do another decrease row. So we're gonna decrease in every stitch all the way around. So again, the decrease is going to be a yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we're gonna repeat that same thing all the way around. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch back into the first one again, chain 1 and turn. And then again, this time we're going to double crochet, single crochet all the way around. I like to keep my tension really tight after decrease row. It just helps cinch it together a little bit more. Again, we ended with a single crochet. And then now we're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet, chain 1, turn our work, and then we are again going to do another row of decreases, decrease every stitch all the way around. And then you're gonna have one odd stitch right here because we had 15 and we've done 7 decreases over 14 stitches. We're just gonna skip that last stitch that we'd normally crochet into. And you're going to slip stitch. And then now you're going to chain 1 and then you're just going to single crochet these 2 top parts together, your hole. So you have your hole in the top right here. You're going to flatten it together and seam it closed just like we did with the brim. So we're just going through both sides here with 2 to 3 single crochets. And then we can tie off. And then once you weave in your one end, you're only gonna have one tail to weave in on this project, which is awesome unless you had to switch yarns because you ran out or something. But this is basically your finished hat. You can add a pom. This is a pom I made using Sierra of Sierra's Crafty Creations pom course. It's only open through December of 2019. Maybe if enough of you watch this video after that point and really want to take her pom course, it's a $50 course. It's really great, but it teaches you all the steps to making a pom. She tells you where she buys her fur online and what her best sellers are. So it's a really, really great course. Can't say enough good things about it, but I guess if there's enough demand for it, maybe she'll open it for one more month. But yeah, so I would just add a pom to this hat. You can do pomless. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you love your finished hat. I can't wait to see all the hats that you guys make using this pattern. Honestly, you guys, this is just a really fun pattern and it's super warm. But thank you again. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, definitely subscribe. I do crochet tutorials, Addy tutorials, market tips, market setups, all of that good stuff. So I will see you guys next time.